Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to this video. Alright, so we are talking about, this video is going to be about the, you guys have issues with the PGM-FI relay. Essentially, this is the main relay for the computer fuel system. All right, and this relay exists in most modern day cars. It is secondary to, well, it works in conjunction with various other fuel pump relays. There could be an additional fuel pump relay or additional two fuel pump relay with this PGM-FI relay. And PGM-FI relay essentially is, if you know anything about cars, the modern day vehicle has a bunch of different computer systems. All right, one computer system is for the main computer ECM, which is the car's main computer, and then there's also the TCM, which is the car's transmission computer. You can just pretty much call the PGM-FI relay essentially as the car's computer for the fuel system outside of the fuel pump relay, which is essentially specifically for the operation of the fuel pump itself. All right, so basically, this part sometimes is in various parts of areas of the car. Sometimes it's under the hood, sometimes it's under the driver's side steering wheel well. Sometimes it's under the glove box. So it just kind of depends. Sometimes it could be under in the back of the car, the trunk, but most of the time it's in front of the vehicle. Kind of depends on which vehicle you have, but we're going to go through essentially the symptoms that you would have as far as these relays concerned. But here's the thing with these relays, okay? These relays are essentially susceptible to extreme temperatures. All right, it's like really hot or really cold out. A lot of cars will experience issues with the relay. A lot of times it's probably because of where it's located. It's not just a relay itself as much as an informational relay. It essentially switches the fuel pump on and off after information is relayed from the ECU to that relay. But obviously, the computer system, any computer systems, and then there are various computer systems in your vehicles, and those computer systems essentially supply info to each other, particularly the main computer. And so if you guys have this issue, you guys will essentially experience a no start issue, but essentially a crank no start issue. And you guys will experience essentially a crank no start issue because the relay is either malfunctioning, and if it's malfunctioning or it's not working correctly, it's not relaying information to the fuel pump to actually pump fuel. So it will crank, but it won't start up because there's not going to be fuel in the engine for it to run. And on top of that, besides a crank no start issue, obviously if it's malfunctioning while the engine is running, there could be situations where your car will be running, and then for whatever reason, malfunctioning at the relay itself, it's not sending information to the fuel pump to keep on pumping, and if the fuel stops, your car is going to stall out or it's going to stop running. All right, so no starts, stalling, and you're gonna have probably a check engine light. Sometimes you're gonna have a check engine light, other times you won't have a check engine light, but a lot of times you might have a check engine light for the code, and a lot of those codes could be a variation of maybe the code for the main relay itself, or various codes as far as, you know, other systems that might have issues as a result of the PGM-FI relay not working. So essentially, if you guys have this issue, basically the way to diagnose something like this is to, if you guys have a check engine light, and that check engine light specifically has a code for the relay itself, definitely that's where your starting point is. But a lot of times, if you guys have this issue and it's like sporadic, like it happens sometimes, it doesn't happen other times, it happens during when it's really warm out, or it only happens when it's really cold out, and then it really works, your vehicle works well for the most part outside of like really hot temperatures or really low temperatures. That could possibly also be that could very well be a symptom of this issue, because in a lot of Honda vehicles, in a lot of GM vehicles, Chevy vehicles, this issue has come up quite a bit as far as issues with your car cranking and not starting because of warmer temperatures out and stuff like that. Now, obviously, just to pinpoint this as being your issue, you really want to do all your checks as far as eliminating all the troubleshooting. Use your troubleshooting steps to actually eliminate all the things could actually cause this issue, because this issue, as far as the crank no start issue does, there's a lot of things that could cause a crank no start issue, and though all those things could be anywhere from low battery, your battery being a bad battery, mass airflow sensor, crankshaft position sensors, air temperature sensors, throttle position sensors, a blown fuse, ECU issues. So basically, it's not particularly a crank no start issue as far as this situation is concerned, because a crank no start issue would have there's so many possibilities of what could cause a crank no start issues that could be outside of the of this relay. But if you have a vehicle where obviously you're going to do your research also as far as trying to figure out what the problem is, but if your vehicle has a large number of these malfunctions, examples of these malfunctions are and some of these vehicles do. This is a lot of these vehicles actually have these relays that are located in areas where it gets really hot, areas in the engine or different compartments where it gets really hot, or maybe that there's years and years of these relays that were manufactured, and these relays have issues with them and stuff like that. So you want to look that up too, because it actually narrows down your ability to figure out whether this relay is the problem or not. But as far as changing out the relay is concerned, most of these relays, they don't need to be programmed, and B, they're located in areas where you could relatively easily get to them. Some of them they're pretty easy. Some of them they're just pretty much under the the glove box. Not inside the glove box, but you have to take the glove box out to get to them. On passenger side glove box, a lot of them located there. They're very simple, relatively easy to get to. Sometimes they're under the steering wheel, relatively easy to get to. Sometimes it's under the hood, relatively easy to get to. Now I say, okay, so they're not very expensive, so swapping them out isn't really a big deal if you actually need to do a trial and error as far as figuring out what the problem is with your crank no start issue. So anyway, if you guys have your own personal experiences with this, definitely leave a comment in the comment section. Please subscribe, please give me a thumbs up, all that good stuff. All right, guys, take care.